Chili maple. Shouldn't be too
Okay.
bad.
Ooh, woo. Oh, unless you give me enough to kill a Canadian.
Here, you can.
So I'm gonna eat this last chip just to get the last little bit of my tongue from stop going.
Welcome to Hot Wins. I'm Taylor with Chili Piper, and I'm joined by Andy Caron. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Andy Caron. I'm the CEO of Revenue Pulse. We're an AI-enabled marketing and revenue operations agency. We've been in this space almost 15 years.
A long time.
Yeah,
All right.
OG.
We're going to dig into that. We've got some hot sauce here, some even hotter questions. Shall we get started?
Please, let's do it.
How are you around spicy foods?
I like spicy foods.
Okay.
They don't always like me though, but I like them.
We have Pepto and Tums hidden under the table. So we are ready for everything. All right, shall we go into sauce number one?
Bring it on.
All right. So this one, chili maple. Shouldn't be too bad.
Ooh, woo. Oh, unless you give me enough to kill a Canadian.
Here, you can. That was not supposed to happen. Oh,
we are actually a Canadian-based consultancy, although I'm a U.S. Person, but I love the maple. This is nice. This is a good way to kick it off.
Good. Seems very fitting. It's like we
It
planned it or
does.
something,
It's
right?
something like that, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Cheers.
Bottoms up. Very maple forward.
Wet
It's
wipes
good.
as well.
Oh, perfect.
Well, it's sitting on your tongue here.
Yes.
First question. Have you ever used AI to write something at work and then spent 20 minutes making it look like something you wrote on your own?
Every single day. You can't take what AI writes and just put it out into the world. That would be stupid. Who would do that? No, I'm sure everybody does it. No, I find and have found for years now that it defeated the white paper just cursor sitting there for me. So I like to spit out and just verbally all my ideas, see what it comes back with, and then heavily edit it. Because not only does it sound like AI, but also it gives me some ideas, but sometimes they need to be expanded or compressed because it focuses on not the thing I was ultimately looking for.
Have you learned any tips or tricks along the way on how to get better at that?
I always prompt it to actually use my verbal speech so it sounds like me. And I probably tell it to be more succinct about 5 to 10 times before I actually take whatever it's created and then judge.
How do you feel about the M-dash?
I had never used it before, so I religiously remove it now just because it's not part of my written style, but I feel like it's been ruined.
I think so.
The M-dash has been ruined.
I think so too. Shall we move on to the next one?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. How are you feeling after that first one?
Oh, that was like literally nothing.
Okay. I'm glad
That's
to see
not
that.
a dare to put four times the amount on that chip,
was
though.
not intentional by any
No,
means.
I know. I'm just... By the time we get to the end, I'm going to be like, just kidding. I can't do spicy.
I hope not. I don't want to scare you off spicy food for good.
Oh, there's nothing that scares me these days. I have twin toddlers.
We can keep doing this all day if you need to.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yummy. Can I look it up? It's a 5 out of 10, they say. Interesting. I'd be curious to see their 10.
We don't have their 10, but we do have a 10 around here somewhere. If you really want
I'm just
to find out.
always curious. Anyway. All right, hit me.
So if everyone now has access to the same AI tools, what actually becomes a competitive advantage?
I like that. Communication skills. If you weren't good at communicating before, using AI to help you communicate isn't going to make you better. It's going to make you sound like a robot. Or it's going to make you dependent on it and even less able to actually communicate when you're in person.
So that's for the individual. What about as an organization? If everybody's, using Claude, ChatGPT, how do you stand out amongst the noise? And what's your competitive advantage when everyone has the same tools?
Actually continuing to be an individual and bring yourself to it. I think it's really easy with AI to kind of just go with what sounds professional or what sounds right, as opposed to bringing your humanity to it. I think, when you show up at work as your whole self, that's where the innovation and the cool stuff comes from anyway. And the same is true in your day-to-day work, whether you're innovating or just responding to a customer's email.
So do you think AI is making us more or less human?
I think it is not doing either, but I think it's accelerating whether we already were letting our humanity in or not.
Whoa. Mic drop. We can end it there. Tell me more about that.
I think that people who overthink about how things will be perceived or how they'll be read or what they want to actually get as an outcome, put that into their prompt and are trying to elicit that out of AI. versus people that have no EQ or low EQ that are already very transactional, and AI expands that. It's a distillery for what we're already doing, and that can be good or bad.
On that note, should we move on to the next one?
Let's do it.
All right, this one, a little bit harder to overdo. They've took this into account.
You just get a dollop.
Just a little dollop.
Okay, which one's this? This is
one, habanero.
Ooh, okay. Sounds good.
All right, cheers.
Yum.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm starting to pick up a little bit more heat. It's kind of like the sun and the heat of that were like equal.
Yeah, you're sweating inside, outside, everywhere.
Just everywhere.
So with that in mind, most companies talk about using AI to move faster, but then their processes stay exactly the same. So for you personally, what's stopping you from moving faster with AI, even though theoretically you could?
Well, we move very fast with AI. But I think it's because when people try to move faster with AI, what they're not doing is looking at the process, figuring out where the process is breaking or damaged or faulty or bottlenecked, and then applying AI as individual use cases to those areas to fix it, and then putting an MCP over the top of it to automate it. They are coming in and saying, this is our process. Who cares if it works? AI. And of course then, AI is an amplifier. So it just amplifies all the broken stuff, and then everything moves more slowly, or you get worse outputs because AI is contextual and assumptive. So it's going to look at what is most common, what is most trending, what is most available as a data set at scale. And that's what it's going to build on. So years ago, and I shall not name him, I had a BDR who went through and did very quick responses to having called a call list about a follow-up to a marketing campaign. And it was clear he was logging them every 10 to 30 seconds. He didn't call anybody. If you put that as here's our response rate to how this marketing campaign worked into AI, it's going to go, well, that was a shitty marketing campaign. People don't think about those things. They just take the data and they shove it in, or they take the process and they shove it in. So of course it gets slower because you now have an intermediary who requires context, who has no context and bad data, trying to automate something that probably should have been fixed before you automated it.
I don't have any follow-ups to that, period. Yeah,
So it breaks.
it does.
It breaks more than it was already broken.
So in summary, that process plus AI is still a bad process.
Plus, bad or no ownership equals even worse process.
No worse.
Yeah. Well, AI can work as a handshake. It's an integrator. But if you're not handshaking across the process already, then you try to stuff AI in there, it's going to go, well, what do I do? I don't know.
It's kind of like an intern. I think of AI as an intern. If I had an intern and I didn't show my intern what to
I
do.
used to think of it as an intern, and sometimes it still is, except it won't get me coffee, which I
Not yet.
don't like. It's never, I can get my own coffee. But it's an intern who's coming in with a PhD in a tangential topic though, right? So it's not industry specific. And if you train it, it still is going to get better, but it's going to try to make you happy and it's going to make assumptions. And that's a very dangerous combination.
Okay. On that note, should we move on to the next one here?
Bring it.
This one is our very own chili pepper hot
Ooh,
sauce.
yum.
You had this one before?
I actually have never gotten my hands on a bottle before, and Jess raised about it on my team, so I'm excited.
Got plenty for you over there.
I will take one or two. My husband would be very excited. We used to have a favorite hot sauce through Trader Joe's, and they discontinued it.
Oh no.
And then they brought it back, and then they discontinued it again, and we're still sad to this day. And
Why
it's
are
been
you
like a
gonna toy
decade.
with us like that?
I know. Pull my heartstrings and then snap them.
I've never known Trader Joe's to do that. I feel like Costco is
Trader
very,
Joe's is
egregious.
lovely, but also they messed with my hot sauce. So,
Not us. We take it very seriously here.
yeah, I need that for a breakfast burrito. It's really yummy.
It's very good on eggs. Very
Yes.
good on eggs. So AI is changing what you actually need to hire for. What skill or role do you think becomes less important in the next 18 months, and how are you managing that conversation with your team?
Well, the skill or role that becomes more is the one I've always hired for in consulting, and that's curiosity. The wanting to take the VHS machine apart and see why it works and how it works. If you're old enough to have been around a VHS, which I was, and I did that. But I think the thing that's becoming the least hireable trait is interesting.
Or something that maybe you explicitly hired for 5 years ago and you're like, that's not it anymore. There's something else I'm looking for.
I don't hire platform experts anymore. technology is changing so fast. Being really good at one platform can sometimes not translate into other platforms. I think someone who is really good at understanding how and why the platform works across multiple platforms is much more interesting. And so the typical like platform SME, less so now than I used to. Yeah, much less so.
Platform SMEs are out, curiosity is in.
Curiosity was always in, but I think the capacity to master a platform as opposed to having mastered a platform, different.
Do you think you can teach curiosity?
Maybe with hot sauce.
All the barriers come down. Yeah.
Right. No, I don't think so. I think you're either a person who naturally asks questions and wants to understand the why, or it's not that you're not, but just that your brain works differently and people's brains brain the way they brain. So I'm not going to ask someone to change their brain chemistry for me, but I'm certainly going to look for a certain type of nerd.
Love that. All right. These nerds are on to sauce number 5.
Okay.
So last one before we get to the rapid fire round. How are you feeling so far?
A little spicy. Not too spicy. Yeah, it's
Need
good.
milk?
No, not yet. I will let you know if and when I do.
All right. I'm so nervous to overpour now.
Oh, no, I made you nervous. That's not good.
That's okay.
That is my goal when I'm an old lady, is to be one of those like women that everyone's just kind of like, oh, she's scary. But for now, no.
Not yet? Mm-mm. This is good practice for me.
I definitely want to be like a Dame Maggie Smith, like kind of like imperious, but not
Boss
yet.
bitch. A boss bitch. We already are though.
Some days.
Okay, last question. Are you ready?
Bring it.
What's your hot take on marketing's future that your peers would publicly laugh at you for saying, but privately would agree with?
I don't know if they'd laugh at me, but you need to stop being a marketer and become a data engineer, right? There's a place for brand, there's a place for voice, there's a place for marketing, but marketing will be built on data, what data you can get, what data you have, how you use it. And if you're not activating on that part of, oh, there it goes. On that part of your brain skill, I can't tell if it's the hot sauce or a little bit of the chip in there, but
Yeah.
it's doing a thing. If you cannot do that, you're going to get left behind no matter how pretty you make things or how cool your, catch is.
Okay. Shall we move on to the this or that hot round?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so this will be a quick one. I'm going to give you a this or that, and you're just going to, off the top of your head, answer. You can
Okay.
elaborate if you want. You can say no, thank you. That's just my take and move on.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Cheers. Brand or pipeline?
Pipeline.
Hire a creator or hire a strategist?
Strategists are always creators, so strategists.
Ship fast and ugly or ship slow and polished?
Rolling, even if it's not round yet.
I've never heard that. Rolling even
I
if it's
had
not round
a
yet.
VP of product who I still to this day love, way back in the day, who always used to say, rolling even if it's not round yet. It being rolling on the ground will slough off the rough edges anyway. Get it out.
I'm going to take that. I'm going to use that. Outbound or content?
Depends on the industry. There are places where outbound is absolutely necessary and it will chop content because the sales cycle is so fast. They aren't going to have time to find the content before they've already bought. But I love content. I love being able to be tangentially useful. So if I have expertise or knowledge that isn't what I sell, but it's useful for you, I love to put that out because that's a good way to also get inbound.
All right. Build your own AI agents or use pre-built tools?
In our area of the industry, always build your own stuff. There's context and nuance it needs, and if you buy pre-built stuff, it may or may not be trainable enough for what you need it to do.
You survived.
I
Now that your
did.
brain's on fire, any hot takes we haven't gotten to yet?
I don't think so. So I'm going
No?
to eat this last chip just to get the last little bit of my tongue from stop going.
Well, thank you, Andy.
Thank you.